But some people don't have that same mentality. It's I want to be one of the cool kids, and I'm gonna like this, and I'm gonna try to. And some of the reasons people post, I think, over that are for that reason as well. There's no real value they bring. They just want to be in the spotlight.
Yeah. But then they get it, right?
Yeah.
They get it. And so here's the funny part is then people I started seeing started taking what she had posted that got all this like attention, and they copied and pasted it, and they started posting it. Well, someone was like, that's this girl's quote. And then she'd get on there and be like, please remove this quote. This is what I said.
Oh, boy.
It's like, you can't say what I said. It's like, really? Really? You're going to get mad at people for copying and pasting an inspirational quote? And the reason that they would get mad about that is because it's all about them.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's taking attention away from them.
Because it's like saying, oh, well, now you're taking credit for some thing that I said that's complete bullshit.
Right. Well, but it's I think a lot of it has to do with our society as a whole and where we're at in the world. I was talking about this with a friend last night, very successful in the real estate market, and he was talking about the biggest thing, his biggest pet peeve is it revolves around social media. The fact that people are so obsessed with the amount of likes that they get. People literally are basing their self-esteem and their self-worth on how many likes they get on selfies that they've doctored that don't even look like themselves. And they're taking that to heart, and I think it's a problem, and I think it's trickling into LinkedIn and the professional world and the things that we do, and it's a problem. And yeah, I don't know if there's things that we can do besides just putting good content that can actually uplift or benefit or help other people. Besides the clickbait that you see, I mean, you get it all the time, whether it's ads on the side of social media or LinkedIn or whatever else that just draws your attention to something, but doesn't provide any real meat or substance or value.
Right. Now, just to go back real quick, when I was talking about my articles here, and I was talking about how many clicks they were getting, the reason I was talking about that...
We can list the titles. We'll list the titles, the links, so that you guys can see. These articles are great.
But the reason that I brought this up, the 83 clicks, the 145 clicks, right? The reason that I brought this up was because I realized that when you create an article, it requires more effort for a user to click through the article, right? It doesn't come up in their feed.
Right.
What I noticed is that when you post just a status update, so if you go here, it's like the same updates. So I'm like, hey, by the way, we're looking for a .NET developer, right? This person's looking for a full stack lead developer, full-time in San Francisco, California. 10 likes, because people, what they realize is they acknowledge is that once they like it, now I can see, so it becomes... viral, right? So it starts to go and affect all the different networks. So what I found is that if you can try to focus your content into these updates, you will actually get a lot more reach out of what you're trying to say. Right. So when you're trying to get your word out, like if you want to put a funny quote or if you want to put, like, hey, does anybody know this? Don't create an article or even any kind of content. Try to avoid the articles because the SEO on those is not as strong or has a high enough ability to get a big reach. Just put the status update.
Well, take this guy that's on your feed. I saw this guy on my feed earlier. The guy that made a joke about the Nigerian who had all this money in his apartment.
So, you saw this guy right here?
This was on my feed too. And it was a funny joke, right? I got a kick out of it. But again, you're sharing information, and and maybe it's to get people back to his profile. Ooh, okay, this guy made this funny joke. Should I go look at his profile? But again, it goes back to how quickly that got around. It was on my profile. It was on yours. But it provides really no...
No, it's a stack of money. It says last night, $45 million was found in a Nigerian man's apartment. He spent over 10 years trying to get rid of it, but sadly, no one would ever return his emails. He has 94 likes and 25 comments. You saw it.
I saw it earlier. Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah. But
it's funny.
Yeah, but it goes to show like how quickly something can spread. But what's the value behind it?
There's no value
at all.
None.
But for Kevin or whatever his name is, it is bringing value. So maybe I just put jokes on my LinkedIn all day and draw people in.
There's also the social influence level here. Right. Kevin here is listed as the deputy chief of staff, right?
Of Kevin LLC.
Of the U.S. House of Representatives.
Okay, well.
Okay, so he's Deputy Chief of Staff for the U.S. House of Representatives. So he serves as Congressman David Schweikert's district director. Now, maybe there's people who are like, oh, man, I'm going to like the Deputy Chief of Staff's statement because that's who he is, right? So if you're like, it's like when you look on Instagram and you see Ariana Grande and then she'll post a Snapchat filter of her friend with the puppy filter. It's not even Ariana Grande, right? And then it gets like 400,000 likes. And you're like, right? So anyway, we're talking about this, but that's the nature and that's the element there. So I wonder, there's got to be a secret sauce. There's something in there that you could utilize to.
I think to tie all of this in, we started talking about LinkedIn. We're still talking about LinkedIn, but LinkedIn I think is a powerful tool. Are there things I like about it? Absolutely. Are there things that I really don't care for? You bet. But regardless of how we feel, it is a tool that should be and can be used to benefit you in your career, to help your network, to increase your visibility if that's what you want. But I don't think people really understand fully, and I don't use all the tools even, but how it can be used to benefit you. And I think that's what we're getting at is some people use it in ways that we don't agree with, maybe to benefit them,
right?
But people are not using it in ways. This morning with one of my recruiters looking for Microsoft CRM like Dynamics people. She's like, Ryan, what companies do you know in Phoenix that use this? I spouted off a couple of that I've done business with, and then I'm like, well, have you jumped on LinkedIn? No. Well, probably be a good place to start, right? You can set it up for Phoenix. You can search.
Your recruiter didn't jump on LinkedIn?
She had no idea. We did a simple Boolean search after we set up certain parameters, location, and found 247 people. She's like, oh my gosh, here's my call list. I'm like, how do you not know this? How do you not know this? And there's so many things. I have managers that reach out to me, hey, I'm looking. Managers that I work with, that I do business with, I'm looking. Where have you started? I have no idea where to start. Dude, you're on LinkedIn, you got 400 people. Like, that's a good place to start, but people just have no idea. And I think LinkedIn is a very powerful tool. And, maybe through this we can help share some of those ways that it can be influential or helpful for you. But it's just like anything else. Like, people don't know the capabilities it has, for good or bad. No,
I mean, I probably place half the people that I get jobs for. Maybe half. I don't know. I don't really know the number. Maybe half. Maybe 30 to 50% of the people that I find, that I source, I get from LinkedIn.
Right.
I mean, a significant amount, right? And then there's obviously the meeting people, and then the referral people, and like the job board people and stuff like that, the posting stuff. But a significant amount come from LinkedIn.
Right. And, people, it's funny. I don't have that many. I have, 3,900 connections? It's not a lot. I mean, it's more than most, probably. Not a lot. Not a significant number. But every day, people are like, Ryan, do you know this person? Ryan, do you know this person? You're connected to them. You're connected to them. And not that I know everybody and have that great of a memory, but you start building your pipeline, your network of good people. And you get to know those people. Like, oh yeah, I know this guy because I work with him here, and here.
Oh,
and
you have more than I do. I actually have less.
Oh well, see, that makes you.
Congratulations!
Way to start my weekend. It makes me feel better about my life.
Congratulations, sir.
But as you build, it really it's also an applicant tracking system, if you will, of good, talented people that you've connected with. To me, that's important. It's a stable of good candidates, good not only candidates but professionals that I can reference or send people to. Introductions I made. Hey, I know this guy. They're better at this particular area than I am. Here they are. Go meet them, and it just becomes a way to help me be more successful, but also help other people.
So while we're on this, and we're probably beating this topic to a pulp soon, but
I think people zoned out. Probably
you think some people? Minutes. This is where people hang up. So the other thing was, I have this. Oh, okay. So I took a screenshot of this, and I thought that was really funny. And it was basically when I went to go connect with, let's just say this candidate's name is James. So I went to go connect with James, and it says, please note, this message is a notice that you are nearing the threshold of I don't know responses that you can receive before you will be required to enter an email address when sending invitations. Please remember to only invite people that you know, right? And then it says on the side, connecting with someone on LinkedIn implies that you know them well. They'll have to ask people you know. Others may ask you about them and vice versa. You'll get updates on their activity. LinkedIn lets you invite colleagues, classmates, friends, and business partners without entering their email addresses. However, recipients can indicate that they don't know you. If they do, you'll be asked to enter an email address with each future invitation. So
it just seems the wording just seems counterintuitive.
it does.
Hey, if you don't know this person, don't connect with them. What's the point of your whole website?
Well, the alternative here is that you just make everybody accessible to everybody.
Right.
Right? And then there's no work. However, the whole inviting thing and the whole connection thing, I think there's a couple, psychological points to this. I think one, it's a barrier
Right.
to entry. It
Allows
gives you,
control.
and in essence, right, people say no, but it gives you the first right of refusal to filter content or filter quality of people that you're connecting with. Right? You have that ability, so you don't have to accept. But people can still message you.
Right.
People can pay and they'll get it in mail, and it still goes to your message,
Yeah.
right? So people can, in essence, still message you, or they can invite you and then send you a message. So either way, but whether they're connected to you or not, they can still message you
Yeah.
over there, right? And the other thing is that I forgot. But anyway, that's the...
Well, here's the way I look at it. There are people I don't connect with. But generally, I don't. You have to almost go out of your way to say, I don't know this person. And it's a negative ding on them. Like, I may not connect with somebody, but I don't negatively ding somebody because I'm not going to fault them for reaching out and saying, hey, I want to connect with you. Do I want to connect with you?
There is a lot of effort that you have to do to click, I don't know this person.
Exactly. But people
it's check mark or X.
Yeah.
Right? If you click the X and then you click the subcategory that pops down and says, well, why do you say no? And then it's like you have to go through 8 different steps just to say, I don't know this person. Like, do you think LinkedIn really cares that you don't know this person?
Right.
No, they don't care.
And I get it. You want to protect your client base and your users, but I don't. Just because I don't connect with somebody, I don't want to punish them or get them their account locked because I didn't accept their invitation. So I just don't touch it, right? I may not accept it. And it's funny because sometimes I'll know who I reached out to when it's like that last straw where they say, hey, okay, hold on. You've reached out to too many people that don't know you. And I'm like, why would you go through that effort just to say, just don't accept my invitation? It's fine.
Right.
To go to the effort and say, I don't know you. I wasn't threatening. I didn't say anything mean to you. I wasn't being nasty. But
trying your best in your handsome suit photo.
I'm trying,
Right?
Trying.
So it's just kind of silly. But, this podcast, we're probably 43 minutes in right now. We should probably cut this one short, and then maybe we'll do another one talking about what LinkedIn could be.
Right.
What
it's trying to be.
What it's trying to be, what it doesn't necessarily know that it is, what it will end up becoming, and other recruiting technologies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like talk about maybe like another one of the recruiting technologies. But so this one really LinkedIn wise, there's obviously some frustrations we just discussed and kind of how the process works.
Do you want to know the best recruiting technology?
What?
Looking somebody in the face in person and talking to them.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, but it surprises a lot of people.
Being in the elevator. In this building.
I have to talk to people?
In this building, I can just get in the elevator and be like, hi, you Linux? Anybody?
Yeah. Your face looks like a Java developer.
You might be DevOps. Are you DevOps? And then that would be, that would be an interesting conversation starter.
Can you negatively profile someone by the skill set that they possess?
Who knows?
Anymore,
and the common misnomer is that people believe that just because you're a recruiter means you're an HR professional, which is
that's true.
Kind of sacrilegious in its own because it's not the case. Which we should make another one talking about how HR should be left to be HR.
Exactly. They should be separate departments.
They should be separate departments.
Recruiting and HR are separate.
Because it's like church and state.
I get it. Yeah, and hey, you need a background check and drug test done for your corporation. All right, I'm handing it off to HR. That's fine. But finding of talent, you go to school to be an HR professional. You can get a degree in various things in the HR field. That doesn't qualify you to recruit people.
Right.
At all. And vice versa.
Well, I guess does anything qualify you to be a recruiter? If you want to read about bad recruiters and what makes bad recruiters, reference my article.
How did I know the plug was coming? I knew it was coming. I didn't know when.
What was it even called? It was called Why Are There Bad Recruiters?
Pretty self-explanatory.